Right, is that better if I turn on the mic, everybody? Can you hear me now? How's that? Should we try that? Right, hello comments. There he is. You hear me now? Right, good. Okay, that was a good start to the stream. Basically, I'll put this out there to you all right now. I consider myself a bit of an expert in DJ technology. I've played with a lot of it over the past few years. I'm not an expert in streaming technology. I'm learning along with all of you guys and girls out there who are watching this tonight. I'm learning this stuff as we go. I've learned so much in the past few weeks about live streaming. So yeah, if I make a few mistakes here and there, then that could be the case. Now, the first thing we're going to do tonight, before we get into the talk about streaming stuff and Rekordbox 6, because that is a big release, obviously that's just coming through, is I wanted to get a guest on the show for this one. So we have a very special guest, if this works. And if this works, I will tell you afterwards how I did it and how it works. So, right, is everyone locked in? You can all hear me now and see, right, we're all good. So shout out to everyone who's locked in the comments already. Guest, if you could move your phone away from the mic, please, a little bit, because it's getting that buzzing thing, that old school. Right, on this button right here, I should have SK83. There he is.
Hey,
there he is. It's SK83. Hello, dude. How you doing?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I had a weird day with a lot of ups and downs, but now I'm super happy and yeah, cool that everything is working so good and we can chat here on your stream.
Excellent. Well, it seems to be working. Let us know if this is working in the comments, everyone. What we should have on screen is myself on one side. We should have SK83 on the top on the other side. And down below, we have an example of SK83's live streaming, which is, it's popping off, right? Are you enjoying it right now? Is it something you're really getting into?
Live streaming, I love it. Like, I need DJing in my life, and I need a reaction from the people. So even if I only stream for 10 people, it's better than to DJ for yourself. So I love to go live, and actually my best coronavirus live stream was the one that I didn't have planned at all. I just turned on my OBS and started streaming and played only tracks that came to my mind, and I ended up playing stuff out of my record collection. Not sure if you can see the shelves here.
Yeah, so you just went all vinyl.
Yeah, I went in the shelf and grabbed stuff out and played it. It was so good. And since then, I tried to stream every 3 days, and yeah, it's a lot of fun.
You've done streaming before, right? You did it a few times in the past. Was it something you've just sort of kind of thought about as a sideline? Wasn't really that. I mean, how did it go for you in the past?
I started streaming when Facebook enabled live streaming into their platform. I don't know when it was, but I think it was the same time when the S9 came out. And that was a big thing for me because I was one of the guys who helped creating the mixer. And there were 3 DJs in the world who had a unit before the drop. And I was one of them. So I was literally going like live all the time. And everyone was so excited to see the mixer. Right. So I had tons of people watching. Like, I remember the first time I went live, I think I had like 60,000 Facebook likes, and I had, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 people on my stream, you know?
Yeah. But it's always good if you've got something unique, right? If you've got something different to bring to the table. I mean, that's one of the things that I'm seeing out there on the streams right now that everyone's doing is like those who get the traction are just those who are doing stuff that's a bit different. And it seems like the stream of yours that I enjoyed the most recently was when you just talked through like your S9 mapping and that kind of stuff, and it was very casual, very laid back. So are you mixing up sort of the regular mix streams and you're mixing up with, you know, different kinds of content as well? Is that the plan to carry on with that?
Yeah. What I've noticed is that now every DJ wants to become part of the streaming world, and that's totally fine because I want to see the other DJs play because it's inspiring. But I also get a lot of questions during the set. How do you do this, and how do you map your mixer and whatever? How did he make that? Why is not using headphones? And I want to give more detailed answers to that. So I decided to make a Q&A, and was waiting for questions, and also got some questions from my Instagram. In the chat window, and I tried to explain as best as I could. it is actually pretty nerve-wracking to perform, explain, and answer and have the chat in mind. Is really stressful, but it was also a lot of fun and the best stream on Twitch I had so far.
Now, okay, so you brought me to my next question, which was Twitch. Does that seem like a platform that's working for you? Because it is for me. Like that's my favorite place to be right now, because you can get through a stream without too many issues as a rule, touch wood. And you'll generally get muted afterwards, I found, but that's okay because live should be all about the live, in my opinion. But yeah, is Twitch, is there anything special about Twitch that's doing it for you?
To be honest, I was a bit of a hater against Twitch because I have 30,000 subs on my YouTube. So I was like, why should I build another platform? It makes no sense. But I've noticed, like after 2 Twitch streams, that this platform is for live so powerful because you can interact with your crowd so well, and they can really send you love and appreciation with the follows, with the subscriptions, and with you can host other DJs after you're done playing, and you can let your homies shine, and they let you shine when they go on before you. So you like on my last live stream, I think it was the one you were talking about, like the Q&A one, Rafiq was on right before me, DJ Rafiq, and he hosted my stream on his channel right after he was done. So I carried basically all his viewers over to my stream without it was not complicated. This is so good.
It's called a raid, right? That's what you raid someone else's channel, yeah?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, okay. Raid or host. I don't know what the difference is, but it's, yeah.
Yeah, like Twitch has its own kind of language that you have to kind of learn and understand. And I'm kind of getting there, but I'm not quite there yet. So, yeah, I mean, that's one thing. Obviously, we're watching down below us, we're watching that stream and we're seeing loads of stuff pop in and everything. You've got your overlays, you've got these messages and alerts popping up. How does that all work? How are you doing all that with your setup?
So after I went to school, I learned graphic designer. So for me, like do graphic stuff is not so complicated. I'm used to work with Photoshop, make my own posters. And so I had a look at the OBS and I saw, I can add images. So what I did, I created a transparent or clear frame with the I don't know how to say it in English proper. It is a transparent overlay.
Yeah.
That lets the camera through. So I created that and some separated elements for example, the chat. And I also saw that you can animate the alerts.
Yeah.
So I just cut out some of my photos. Like, for example, with someone sending me a donation, I have a stack of Chinese money in my hand that they gave me after the show. And I hold it to my ear, and edit, I think, the coin sound of Super Mario to it.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, funny stuff.
Just makes it lively, right? I mean, the other thing I was going to ask you about, we're seeing on screen right now from your stream, is your Serato screen is coming up there. I was going to give this tip instead, but I'll let you do it as you're on the show. So how are you getting your Serato screen onto your other laptop without any lag and delay? How does it look so good like that? How's that working?
There's a little bit of lag, but it's not so crazy. It is, if you have 2 MacBooks, like first of all, you should not stream and DJ on your same laptop. You should like use 2 laptops.
Yeah, I agree if you can. I mean, not everyone can, but I agree, yeah.
Otherwise, you should use your phone, but don't stream on your laptop, and because you get a lot of trouble. Anyway, what I did was, I did I don't know the English word. You need to help me out.
Right? It's the
screen sharing, yeah. So you go into your settings on your Mac and you enable screen sharing, and then you get like something similar like a network address that you type in on the other Mac on the screen sharing app. And then you be able to share the screen and also remote control your other laptop from the other MacBook.
Okay.
And you basically do a window capture in OBS of the screen and put it in your OBS. I also try to HDMI cable and the capture card,
Yeah.
but the quality was not as good as the screen capture or app capture thing.
And you're doing that over a network cable, right? Because you can do it wirelessly, but you're doing it just with a network cable between the two MacBooks. Yeah.
All my both of my MacBooks are in the same network.
Right. Okay. And but you're using it over wired. You're not wireless. Is that right or not?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
but you can use it over Wi-Fi as well.
Right. Okay. Great. Then, okay. One more question. I'm going to let you go because I know it's later where you are right now than what it is. But you're also using OBS Camera, right? Because I looked at that on my last Q&A on here, and I used the OBS Camera app on an iPhone. You're using that as one of your cameras in your streams. How's that been working out for you?
So far, so good. The first stream I did that I mentioned earlier, made with my phone and straight to the YouTube app. That was the stream that was so really good. And then I decided, okay, I gotta go with some better. I gotta produce my show. I will go back on OBS because I was using it before, and I had a very good webcam, but the quality of the video was not good. So I was looking for alternatives, and I was like, the quality of my phone was so good. Maybe I can hook up my old iPhone 10 to the OBS, and then I found this app, OBS Camera, and I'm using a very very long lightning cable to my streaming laptop, and it works like a charm. If you got the settings right, it's the best webcam you can have. It's a bit expensive webcam, but
well, it's not compared to a webcam. You know, like it's you know, these days a C920 on eBay is like $200. So you know, it's a pretty good price, I think. For it's like under $20. So I think that's a pretty good. Okay, I love this little section that we're seeing now on the screen is you doing basically your QVC shopping channel bit. I love that as well. You know, this is all transparent PNGs. Is that right? Is that the file type that you're using? Yeah. So you just kind of overlay that into OBS. There you
out now. Get your shirt.
So, dude, thank you so much for coming on. As I say, I've been loving your streams. I really have. Like you're pushing it. You're doing it in these times. You know, there's other people who've kind of led the way ahead of us all, like Rafik. I'm going to get him on here to talk about what he's been doing for so long. But like right now, you're really taking advantage. I'm very grateful to you for taking the time, for calling in. Thank you very much. Give us a shout out for your channels. Where are your channels at?
It's all at SK83.
Okay, so twitch.tv/SK83.
Yes, and YouTube, Instagram, everything, same handle. Thank you very much, Mojaxx.
Nice
I will
one.
stay around and watch what you have to say.
That's great. Thanks a lot, man. See you soon.
Okay,
right,
bye. Peace.
Okay, so in theory, he's now gone away on the screen, and I am talking to you. Is everything looking good? This is all kind of experimental, everybody. Right, I've closed Skype. So he's gone. Yeah, I think this is going to work well. Let me tell you how I did that. Basically, I watched a video today. I've been watching endless, constant videos about all the streaming stuff. I mentioned Epos Vox, EPOS-VOX, in a previous stream. His channel is amazing. I just happened to come across a video of his in my, just an autoplay thing. And he recommended Skype for Creators, which is a version of Skype that is free, just like the normal Skype, but it's for broadcast and creators. And so what you do is you download this version of Skype, and that allows you to turn on NDI. And I see DJ Josh Carl in the comments there talking about NDI stuff. NDI is a really clever technology that from New Tech originally, and you can use it with all kinds of different stuff. So if you're struggling to find a way to connect something to something else within your live streaming setup, I fully recommend looking at NDI stuff because, yeah, this is really clever. So literally, that just takes from Skype via NDI straight into the NDI plugin in OBS Studio. That's what I'm using here, the free OBS Studio software. And there it was. I can just literally take SK83's video and his sound. He can hear me. He can see me on my regular webcam. It's really good, and it's all free. So if you're looking for a way to get chat, discussion, interviews, anything into your streams, having now tested that live, I can fully recommend it. Absolutely superb. What I'm streaming off today, I'll keep an eye on these comments to make sure. If you've got any questions, do ask your questions in the comments. I'm here to answer questions, not just kind of talk at you for an hour. But yeah, I'm using the Blackmagic A10 Mini at the moment, which is something that I bought myself just as this whole kind of thing kicked off. I'd seen it around and I was like, I want one of those. Like, I think this is an ideal setup for me. And they then released the A10 Mini Pro, which I have over here, because I have two now. So let me put the Pro on screen. You should be able to see that now. Okay, this is an HDMI switcher. It's not ideal for everybody, not by any stretch of the imagination. Basically, you know, it's quite expensive in terms of, you know, compared to like OBS Camera or something like that. And it's also, it's a bit beyond what a lot of people are going to need. So for example, you know, I've got HDMI equipped cameras with HDMI clean outputs on there that I use for making videos for DJcity. So for me, there was no further investment required. I can plug my HDMIs into the back of the A10 Mini or the A10 Mini Pro and I'm good to go. But if you don't have those, then it's really not worth it. Question, do you get lots of fake Twitch followers? I get almost 200 and half are fakes. I haven't seen any of that, Michael Bart, at all. I mean, I'm up to 600 now, which I'm really pleased with. Twitch.tv/MojaxxDJ. If you want to go give me a follow, that'd be appreciated. Everyone's starting from nothing with Twitch. You know, absolutely. We're all starting from zero, and it's quite a stressful thing to do when you've built up a following elsewhere. But just push your Twitch at every opportunity. You know, I'm pushing it now. I've pushed it on pretty much every Facebook post, every Instagram post that I've made in the past few weeks. And if you reach out to enough people and hit them up, you know, the general public are not unfamiliar with Twitch. This is the thing, like maybe a lot of us are, maybe people of my kind of age are not so familiar with Twitch, but actually plenty of people in the world do stuff on Twitch all the time. They watch games and all kinds of stuff on there. So yeah, I don't think it's just going to take a bit of work, but I haven't seen any sign of fake followings or anything like that. And certainly I would never, ever recommend that you buy followers on any platform ever, because it doesn't work. Like, you know, you can see it. The algorithms aren't fooled by it. Your engagement's always bad. And people who are in the know, they can see when followers are not active and engaged and they're not actually following you. So yeah, categorically, that is a non-recommend. Would Skype NDI be good for DJing live with? You know what I haven't done yet is, Jay, I haven't actually gone in and tried that. I literally watched that video this morning. I tried it, just did a call to a buddy, and then I've just done it live on the stream, and there you go. So I don't know. It may well be that the audio, if you want direct input, that might not work. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, do investigate it further. It's free, so you might as well check it out. It's not really a problem. Neek the Freak, is Twitch or YouTube a better platform for streaming DJ sets? You know what? I think Twitch is better. Both of them, YouTube and, you know, Facebook obviously is a copyright nightmare. You can get cut off during your stream. There's all kinds of problems with it. You know, none of it, as I always reiterate, none of this is allowed. You're not allowed to DJ on any of these platforms. You're playing copyright music. You don't have the rights to play it in that environment. So it's just not allowed. But with YouTube and Twitch, in general, you can get through your streams on YouTube without getting pulled down. You will get blocks and copyright, like region restrictions and stuff after the fact, but not always. You know, sometimes you do. So I really like Twitch because of some of the reasons that SK83 outlined, and because also I think the community vibe on there is really good. There's a great feel to it. You always see lots of engagement in the comments. There's lots of ways that people can interact. So I'm feeling Twitch. I absolutely am. I recommend everyone try Twitch out. Let's have a look. No, if you have Amazon Prime, you get Twitch Prime as well. Just connect the accounts. Yeah, I mean, that's it. You can actually donate, basically. If you can do a subscription to any affiliate channel or partner channel on Twitch and give them money for free. So yeah, absolutely, that's well worth doing. And one thing I will point out as well, which a lot of people don't seem to be aware of, if you have a SoundCloud Pro account, so if you pay for a monthly SoundCloud Pro account, then actually right now they're offering a way to get affiliate status on Twitch for zero effort. You just get it straight away. You send off a form and that's it. So that is thoroughly recommended. Yeah, I found Twitch doesn't cut you. I found that Twitch, I've always got through my streams, but because I've been doing live stuff on Twitch, you know, 3 shows in a row plus some extra stuff, and I found that I haven't got any cuts. But what I have got is muted audio after the fact, and I'm not going to complain about that at all. For me, Twitch is about the live experience. All of this live stuff, it's about the live experience. If you want something that's going to live on for posterity forever, then just film a routine or film a set and put it out on YouTube. Don't try and do the live thing. I would definitely say not. Let's scroll on through. I do want to talk about Rekordbox tonight because it is big news. The new version, I've got it on my laptop here. I've got it on an iPad as well. So we're going to have a look. Do I have a lot on my cam, DJ Ezo? No, I don't. This is a Panasonic GH5S, which is a very, very nice camera. I have some pretty good lighting going on. I've made it look a little bit better than it looked last time. So yeah, that's all it is really. That's all I can say on that. Greg Eggleston, have you checked out the Streamlabs version of OBS? I see more gamers using it. I think SK83 is using it. I wasn't using it for a while because it wasn't on Mac for a while, and I do all my streaming on Macs. But they've now released a Mac version of Slobs, they call it, Streamlabs OBS. It's based on the same thing. It's an open source project, and they've forked it to go to a different direction slightly, but it has a lot more extra bells and whistles on it. Not all of which you may want, not all of which you may need. So it's worth trying them out because they're both free to use on a basic level. So yeah, I would absolutely. Let's have a look. Yeah, Flipside using Streamlabs OBS. So shout out DJ Flipside from Chicago. He's doing regular streams. Looks really nice with Streamlabs as well. So yeah, I'm going to investigate Streamlabs a little bit more. But I'm going down this kind of hardware route right now because this is the thing. I'm going to go back to the A10 Mini Pro that's come out because honestly, like, this thing is pretty mad. The original A10 Mini, let's cut to that, right? The original A10 Mini is a switcher, and then it feeds out to your computer as a webcam. So that USB output on the rear, that goes out to your computer, and then your computer just sees it as a webcam. SK's not using the Streamlabs. Okay, there you go. I've just heard that. I heard that wrong. But yeah, so that's what it does, and it was great. It's fantastic. There's lots of very deep features involved in it. Lots of very cool stuff you can do with the original Mini. But the Pro adds these 2 or 4 buttons up here in the top corner, which is record and on air, because this thing actually is a stream encoder. So on Wednesday night, when I did my regular weekly show, I went out purely from the A10 Mini Pro. There was no computer involved in this stream. It literally went out straight from there. I put Restream into the settings. You can do that with an XML file. And I literally went from the A10 Mini Pro out to Restream. That went to Twitch and Facebook, and I messed up YouTube, but that's my mistake. And it looked and sounded really, really good. And the big thing with the Pro, on the original A10 Mini, the preview output, which is an HDMI out, you can run that to a monitor. You can have a direct through for your first channel if you're doing gaming or something like that. You can also do preview, or you can do the master, whatever you want, you can see on that. But what you couldn't do on that preview output is see more than one thing at once. And with the Pro, they have now got multi-view. So this is what I see on my screen. I've just got an old monitor set up in front of my setup, so behind one of the cameras, and this is what I see as my preview. So on the left we've got the preview, what's coming up next, then we've got the output, camera 1, 2, 3 and 4. Down the bottom you've got a media player. That's something very deep we'll get into at some point. Then you have your on-air display, so you can see I was streaming at, it was like 9,000 kilobits a second or something. It was ridiculous, the amount of bitrate that I was pushing out. Far too much. I should have used the medium settings, not the high. But also then you can record through the USB port. If you're streaming, obviously, if you're streaming through the Ethernet, you're not going out of the USB to a computer, then you can plug in a thumb drive and record what you're doing at the same bitrate that you're putting out. So honestly, if you've got cameras already that have clean HDMI outputs, then actually the ATEMs are very good value, because bearing in mind still, again, the cost of something like a webcam right now, and the fact you can't get webcams. So I'll be doing a first look at the Pro in the next week or so, and then I'll have a full review on both, because I bought the original Mini a few weeks ago, and then Blackmagic have kindly enough lent me a Pro to actually test out and review and compare it against my own Mini. So yeah, there'll be a full review on that coming very soon. I love this hardware, but if you don't have the requisite cameras to use it, it's going to be an expensive investment, because the cheap one is like, or the older one is like $300. The new one is like $600 nearly. So it's a big investment if you don't have cameras already, and even if you do. But I had the cameras, so it made sense for me to pick up the Mini. Let's go back to some questions. Right, thoughts on Recordbox 6. We'll go to that in the back half of this hour. We'll just mainly talk about Recordbox 6. I have laptop and iPad set up here, so Jan, we will definitely do that. Did you try the RCA to 1/4 inch method with the Roland Go? I did. That's all I used it with, really. I just went RCA to 1/4 inch, because it's got, the Roland Go has got quarter. It's around somewhere in here. I'm drowning in streaming stuff right now because I'm trying to test it all. Did everyone see the iRig Stream review in the week when that went out on DJcity? Very impressed with the iRig Stream. Between that and the Roland Go, I kind of prefer the iRig because it has RCA inputs, and it's easier than using mini jacks and stuff all around the place. I like RCAs. That's like my favorite connector. But yeah, both of those, if you can get either an iRig Stream, if you want direct audio for your phone, then an iRig Stream or the Roland Go, they are both fantastic options. And yeah, just pick up whichever one you can get hold of, because there aren't any out there. Let's have a look. Let's see. DJI action camera needs a hack for OBS. I mean, okay. Here's something I didn't talk about last week, which I had forgotten. I was going to talk about this. Cheap action cameras. There are some cheap action cameras out there, unlike GoPros, because GoPros, the only way to get them into a computer realistically is through an HDMI cable into either a capture card, a regular capture card, or something like the Blackmagic, right? So you've got to get HDMI into your computer. That is a bit of a hassle, but you can get great results with that. But yeah, so there are some cheaper action cameras out there, some real budget ones, which actually do function as a webcam. If you plug it in, it can work as a computer camera. So I had one of those that I bought for my daughter like a little while ago, right? So we had one of those, and I plugged it in, and it wasn't great quality. It was not fantastic. I mean, it's only a 1080p one. It wasn't 4K, and yeah, just it doesn't do very well in low light at all. You need to like throw light at this thing to make it any good. But it did work, and I did a test stream on Facebook, and I had direct audio going into OBS, and I had this one action camera, and it did work. It was okay. But then I went and I bought, because shout out Cleveland Terry, his channel's well worth a watch if you want some good tips. He's doing lots of streaming stuff right now. But he mentioned a particular brand of action camera. I forget the name of it, Cross something or other, Cross Tour, there it is. It's still across the room from me now. And I bought one of those off Amazon, and that was about $30. And that one, in all the kind of reviews and stuff, it seemed to say it would do a webcam thing. And I plugged it in and it didn't. So that was no good. It just didn't work at all. And neither of them I could get to work on Mac. They only worked on Windows. So there are some action cameras out there which will work, but I think you're going to need to spend a bit more money, like up to about some of the more expensive ones, maybe up to like $80, $100. So personally, I would stick to something like OBS Camera on your phone, which I've used successfully. SK83 is using. I've put a lot of people onto it because I've seen the results that SK has been having. And so for me, that's well worth the investment. But talking of that, so many things to talk about tonight. I hope I'm not going too fast. I hope, if you need anything, do comments after the fact, and I'll try and respond to those afterwards if you have further questions that I'm not answering, right? Let's talk about what I found out today, because shout out DJ Trays, right? Old friend of the channel, big friend of DJcity. Shout out DJ Trays, an amazing DJ. He's going to do some live streams with Ableton tutorials. That's his plan. And he's in the same situation as most people. He doesn't have any webcams. He's having issues getting the right cameras. So he found a solution. Sorry, excuse me. Which is this. This is the Wisecam HD Wi-Fi indoor smart home camera. And it's from, in this case, Home Depot, but it's also available on Amazon in the US as well. And there was an article on The Verge, a really good tech site that I actually read as well. I missed this article, but yeah, they've had a firmware update so they can be used as webcams. And so Trays has picked up a couple of these from Home Depot, which in most parts of the world is, in the States is still open. It's considered an essential kind of business. So you can pick these up at Home Depot locally in your area if you're able to get out to one. Like $25, you need a few different cables. You need a USB-A to USB-A, but apparently he's been trying them and the quality is actually very good. And so if you're looking for a cheap hardware camera option that you can run into your system, then actually this Wise Cam looks like it's going to be a great choice. And like, yeah, you could get with the cables as well. You're talking under $50 to get one of those attached to your system, working as a webcam. That is a really good option. I've just found out today, and this is what I keep coming back to. You know, I'm finding stuff out every day. I found out about the Skype thing today. I found out about those Wise cameras today from Trace. Like, there's so much to learn in this streaming thing, and I'm definitely not an expert yet. But yeah, if you've got any further tips, you know, you need to get them out there and let people know, because all the DJs are trying to do this right now. Let's go in. DJ Johnny 7, what's the best solution to bring in other DJs to your live stream remotely? To be honest, I haven't figured it out yet. I feel like that Skype thing might be an option. The Skype NDI through the Skype for creators, that worked really well tonight. Now, if that works with an external mic, so let's say you plug in, you know, an audio interface, then actually that could be the dream. That could work really well. So I'm going to test with that. Luan West, yeah, one of the best security cams. Also, seriously, the Wise, that's a full-on recommend from Trace. He says they're coming out really good. They look really good. Unfortunately, they're not really available in the UK very easily from the looks of it, so I won't be able to get one to test, but I will try. I will have a look. You can use StreamYard, Matt Fly says, to bring other DJs in. So, yeah, great news. That's great. Zoom could be the one. I mean, Zoom was what I was planning to do before I discovered the Skype thing. That was my plan. Let's have a look. Any way of importing Facebook chat into Twitch Live? Yeah, basically, you just use Restream, which is what I'm using now. I think I kind of touched on this in the last stream. Restream.io is what I'm using. DJcity are using it. I'm using it. We're using it right now. With Restream, you can basically feed out to up to like 30 platforms at once. You send one stream out of your system, and then Restream distributes it around the different platforms, and that should work very, very well indeed. It has done for me. There's a few, you know, hiccups, but with everything, you know, the way it actually works with, like, for example, now I'm seeing, I've got the Restream chat app open. I'm seeing comments from Facebook and from YouTube, and they should be appearing on all the platforms. That's the way it works. So with Twitch, that works the way as well. If you want to stream to a Facebook page rather than a Facebook profile, then it does cost. You have to spend like $20 a month or thereabouts to get that functionality. But if you want to do all the channels and a Facebook profile, then you can use Restream for free. So I fully recommend Restream. At this point, I've used it multiple times. It's worked very, very well indeed. So I've got no qualms about Restream whatsoever. Let's have a look. Zoom audio quality is bad. Yeah, and that's the thing. I haven't tested it yet. The more people on Zoom, the worse the sound is. That doesn't surprise me either. What is your best recommendation, Sean Ahmed? If two laptops is not a possibility, then just use your phone. Then get direct audio into your phone, stream from your phone. You can get a very good quality stream from a phone. There's no doubt about it. Something like Facebook Live, you can easily get a good stream in there as long as you can get that direct audio in, and that's where things like the iRig Stream, the Roll and Go mixer, and other interfaces will come in terms of getting that good quality audio in there. But your phone, you know, phones have great cameras these days. They all do. Like, you know, any modern phone has got a great camera. Android cameras are normally better than iPhone ones these days. So yeah, there's no reason you couldn't just use your phone and you'll get a great quality stream out of that. What you can't do with just a phone is, of course, all the fancy overlays and stuff. I think there is some options for that, but in general, you're just going to get a nice clean stream. And for most people, that's probably what you need. Have I looked into Lula.tv? No, that's on the list as well. Wonder if the UK equivalent of the Wise camera, Neos camera. I mean, there are some that look very similar. I just had a glance onto a few sites earlier, and there's some that look like identical. Right, eZone page. Can you stream with OBS and use Serato DJ Pro /video on only one computer? Yeah, if you have like a supercomputer, then maybe You know, if you have like a fully maxed out MacBook Pro 16 or something, or a crazy desktop, maybe you could do that. But honestly, trying to run video at the same time as doing OBS streaming and DJ, I wouldn't recommend it. I really wouldn't. Like, if you're going to go down that road, you know, just borrow somebody else's laptop or something like that. That's definitely invest in Restream stock. I tell you what, there's a lot of companies who are going to be making a lot of money out of this particular situation we're in right now, and I suspect Restream is one of those. It's one of those times where certain companies, they had that technology, like Zoom. You know, Zoom is one of the biggest products in the world right now. Very few people cared much about Zoom before all this kicked off. So yeah, you know, right place, right time for these companies, I think, a lot of the time. Dean Campbell, can you use your iPhone on OBS? Yes, you can. Go and watch the last Q&A that I did where we talked about OBS Camera. It's not the cheapest app in the world, but it fully works, fully co-sign that. Just run it over a lightning cable, not wireless. Let's see. How to get people to move over to Twitch. All my audience is on Facebook and Instagram. Excuse me. Right, roll and go live cast. I've had mixed results with the live cast. Full review is coming. I will test that out. Let's see. Possible to use Android as a camera on OBS. I still haven't come up with a consistent, reliable recommendation for that. I don't have an Android phone. If you have one, drop it in the comments. Would be much appreciated. Help out your fellow DJs. I have lots of people have recommended different things to me, but I can't test them out. So, you know, there you go. Let's see. What else have we got going on? There's a lot of comments coming in from Facebook and YouTube. Shout out to all the YouTube people locked in. Have I tried the original iRig? Thing is, the older iRig stuff, a lot of it is designed for instrument level stuff. And so it's like mono and it's not quite the right level. And a lot of it doesn't have USB on it. It's got the old, you know, TRRS inputs and stuff like that. So there are definitely options with those and they do work. But in general, if you're going to buy something now, I would buy the iRig Stream out of their whole range. That's the one that's going to work best for DJs, absolutely. So the iRig 2 HD Woods How, I believe that one has a lightning connector or a USB-C or whatever. Direct USB is the one, like you need to do that. Okay, we're going to move. I'm going to do Recordbox 6 a bit in a minute. X1850 review, that'll be coming. I haven't got one yet. I have lots of stuff from Den on DJ here. I've got the Prime 2, I have the Prime Go, the little one. That will all be getting reviewed pretty soon. But, you know, the priority for me right now is still live streaming stuff. Because that is, suddenly we're in a world where all DJing is taking place in live streaming kind of arena. So it's got to be priority. And I'm sorry to all the companies I've got stuff here. Things like the Omnitronic TRM 402 rotary mixer. That deserves a review, definitely. It will come. But it's not a streaming product. So it's not top of the list right now. You know, this is how it's going. Let's see. I'm using a separate laptop to live stream via OBS. Can I screen record my Serato screen? Yeah, watch the replay of this, go back, and you can hear SK83 explaining how he does that exactly. No problem at all. So, shall we move on? Should we do some record box? Lots of questions. Right, can you override the 128 Facebook live stream audio quality? No, you can't. It's limited. It's locked out. Don't waste your bandwidth by trying to get around it because that's the limit to it. Okay, right, let's do this. Let's move on and talk a bit of record box. There it is. So the big news is with Recordbox 6, it's really the cloud. There are lots of small little changes, stuff which I'll get to in more detail later on. But the big thing is the cloud. You go into your, you log in basically. You need a full-on like cloud subscription for this. But once you do, you can synchronize your entire library to 2 computers and 2 mobile devices. So on this one, let me just get this logged in. I've got my iPad Pro here. And let's move and see if this is coming through. There it is. Put me on as well. Happy days. And there it is. Now you'll notice that's quite small because the mobile app for Recordbox 6 is really good. Right, it's great. I used it on my Wednesday night live mix. I was actually DJing off the iOS app linked in to the XDJ XZ, and it performed very, very well indeed. But you'll notice that's very small, because what they did is they didn't make it an iPad native app. So it's just a blown up iPhone app, which is, that's just not cool, because this app is actually really, really good. So you can, this is all synchronized across from my main library over on the laptop. So there's that. And then, yeah, it's just a shame, because this is really, really good. Let me go into a playlist where I can play you something without getting the copyright police onto me. Let's see if we can do that. So all of these files in here are not downloaded. They are in the cloud, right? They're living in my Dropbox. And that's the one thing, if you don't have a big Dropbox account already, then this is going to cost you, because you're going to have to get a bigger Dropbox account as well. But let's download a track. Right, let's do that. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to click that one. I'm going to get it from the cloud, and that's going to download. There it goes. That was pretty quick. And now we can play that. So let me know if you're hearing that and if it's too loud or not. If it's too loud, I can turn it down. But this is the player. And we can actually play 2 tracks at once. We can have A and B, so you can literally, you know, do practice mixes on the road and everything else. Will it ever come to Google Drive? I would hope so. Like, it works well with Dropbox. I am a Dropbox user. We use Google Drive at DJcity. That's like our work one. But I would, you know, so yeah, I'd love to see it come to other cloud providers as well. That would be very useful. But yes, yeah, so you can go in, if we go back to a one deck situation, I can go in, I can set my grid. I can set hot cues, memory points, all of this directly from the app. And then because it's synced up with the cloud, it will go back to my laptop. So everything that I do on this, all the hot cues that I set, very soon, that will be on the machine over here. Let's see if that's how quickly that's actually working. Let's see. This is going to be a live test. Like, once I had this set up and running, I was pretty astonished. So what's this called? Hey DJ. Right, here we go. Let's have a look. Hey DJ, and I'm going to load that in. One player. Let's see. If this has worked instantly, I'm going to be pretty... There you go. And that's got all my cue points that I've just added to it. So that is pretty neat. I'm really, really liking the look of that. Now, let's see. Oh, seem to have broken what I'm doing here somehow. Right, bear with me. That's better. All right, so go back to me. So, yeah, okay, there's a lot of questions about the compatibility, about what you're actually paying for it. Now, it's subscription only now. It is hardware unlock, so in many ways it's more like Serato in that, you know, you plug in and your hardware is a dongle, and that will work like that. I mean, the compatibility list is, yeah, it's a bit confusing, it's a bit convoluted, but that's the case with Serato as well in many respects. So I'm not complaining too much about that, to be quite honest with you. The one big question, of course, for a lot of you guys and girls watching this, you know, DJcity viewers, is the DJM S9, because I know a lot of you use that. And yeah, it doesn't work with that by default with DVS. So you will need to have a subscription plan or a hardware unlock extra device. And so my recommendation, let me go back to that screen so I can run off for a second. One sec. I thought I was fully prepared for this tonight, but there you go. DDJ XP2. So this thing is like a couple of $100, and if you plug this in with your S9, then that will unlock the full Rekordbox DJ, DVS, all of that for Rekordbox 6. So, you know what? Like, I love this hardware anyway. I think the XP2 is a fantastic bit of kit. Works with Serato and with Rekordbox, and it will unlock the full Rekordbox 6 with your S9. So that, if you're wanting to get into it, that's definitely a way forward. You're still going to have to pay an extra sub on top for the cloud stuff, you know. I say at some point I'll look into this a little bit further, and I'll do a bit more content about it, because it's a big step in many respects. This is kind of where the future is going to be. You know, we all know the cloud is like, it's the future of most technology. You know, we're not storing stuff offline anymore. It's all going in the cloud. And, you know, for years people have talked about putting like their Serato library into Dropbox and things like that. And there are ways to do it. But in general, it's been kind of restricted. So the idea now that I have this full cloud library, did I break something? There we go. I've got this full cloud library that just works on a phone and an iPad, and I can link it all together. Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff, to be honest. I'm very excited about this, and it feels like the future, and that's, you know, we're all looking for what's next, really. And I think, you know, having just being able to be on the road, get your phone out, do a beat grid, check out some, you know, add some cue points, add some hot loops, stuff like that, and then you get to the gig, open up your laptop, and it's all there already, or you just plug in your iPad or your phone to the link, and it is done over Ethernet. It's not done basically. The adapter situation is quite complex because it's done Ethernet over USB. It's not, you don't plug into the top port on like a CDJ. You plug into the one on the back and do it like Pro DJ Link. So it's a little bit more complex than maybe I was hoping, but it did perform seamlessly. You know, I did a whole set on it, as I said. You can see on the right hand side of the screen, that's my iPad there. I was literally swiping. You know, it's a lovely multi-touch display on the iPad. I was selecting tracks from there, loading to either side of the XZ, because I still have that loan unit, that review unit still at my house at the moment. So yeah, and it worked seamlessly. So yeah, it's one of those things, you know, you probably, if you don't find the value in it, you don't have to pay for it. There are lots of ways to unlock the software with just hardware or whatever else. You don't have to have the cloud stuff, but for those who find it valuable, yeah, I think the cost will be worth it. Let's go back and get a few more questions in. I've got about 10 minutes left before we're going to call it a night. I think we'll keep these to like an hour at the most, will be generally the plan. Let's see. How fast is your connection at the moment? That loaded quick. Yeah, it did. Earlier on, it was quite slow. So, yeah, don't know about that. Right, let's go out and see if I've missed any important questions. Any other questions? And we'll talk about other topics if you like. We don't have to talk about streaming all the time. There'll be plenty of that going on. I do want to mention, if you're using OBS, you have a bit of spare cash, this thing is very much recommended. This is the Stream Deck from Elgato. You can use that to control OBS. It like literally just works, like there's no fuss, which is very cool. I like that a lot, so I'm big into that one at the moment. They do have an iPhone app as well you can use. Stuart Disco Gregory, 12 Mark IIs. I know nothing about them, to be honest. Like I obviously I work closely with in-music brands on a lot of things. They didn't send any to me. They didn't tell me about them ahead of time. All I know is what I've seen on Jazzy Jeff's live stream, the same as the rest of you. Literally, I've not spoken to them about it, so I'm sure I'll get some kind of early access to find out about them at some point. But to me, that looks like a product that's probably quite far away. It doesn't look like a really deliberate leak. I think it's just something that's coming later, at a later stage. Let's see what else is going on in the comments. Can you play in HID mode on Rekordbox 6? Yeah, you can. Actually, going back to the list, just the top of that list there, Nexus 2s, and the Nexus, all of those. You can do the Pro DJ Link, DJ Control. Again, you're going to need some kind of hardware unlock or a subscription. It's complicated, right? That's the thing. It is complicated. The more layers they add to this stuff, the more complicated it gets. Trying to explain how Serato DJ Pro licensing works to most people, if they don't know about it, that's a challenge in itself. So I'm not going to give Pioneer DJ a hard time at all for that, because yeah, that's pretty much standard across the board. Let's see. Does the A10 Mini push NDI? I don't think NDI is involved with that at all, basically, as far as I know. Still, I've got a lot to learn about these Blackmagic boxes. I'm endeavouring to learn it as much as I can and get really into it, because it's basically OBS in a box in many ways, but there are also some things it can't do, some things it does better. Yeah, it's just, I've got to learn a lot to do about it. Is phasing HID mode on Rekordbox? That hasn't been announced, Grant. I don't know. I would hope so. I'm sure that Phase would love to get that in a kind of integrated way into other software, as well as Serato DJ Pro, which it is coming to definitely. I can't imagine they wouldn't try and push for that, but I've heard nothing to confirm it or any kind of timeline or anything like that whatsoever. Let's see. Will I need a new USB stick for Recordbox 6 while I adjust to it and still use 5? Recordbox 6, it converts your library to a Recordbox 6 library. So you need to back up all your library file first. So you do backup library in Recordbox. And so you've got a solid backup of it. But then you will need to resync all your stuff because it has the new waveforms in there. And that's one of the key things. You've got these new waveforms with the split for the different frequencies. So you're definitely going to need, yeah, you're going to have to basically re-export your files to your stick without a doubt. That's going to be something you're going to need to do. Let's see. Possible to do live back-to-back with an audio interface. Okay, here you go. This is my new challenge then for next week. We'll do another stream at some point in about a week's time, I expect. That's my challenge. I will try and find out the best way to do a back-to-back with somebody else on Livestream. And I'll bring that information to you as quickly as I can, because that's coming up a lot lately. The Skype thing might work, Zoom might work, there might be other options. I will investigate that. If you have any ideas, please do hit me up and let me know so I can investigate them further. That would be much appreciated. Let's see. Would DJcity ever stream music to Serato? Basically, DJcity, we don't do streaming. BeatSource, however, is coming. That is a streaming service for DJs, so you can stream millions of files from the cloud directly into your DJ software. Not announced for Serato. Don't know if it's coming for Serato. There are some platforms coming soon, so that's good. You know, we're excited for how that's going to go into DJ software. The whole point is to get it into DJ software. You know, that's the idea. It's for DJs. So yeah, we're obviously working on lots of different things with BeatSource. Let's see, what's better for recording and streaming, Evermix or the iRig Stream? I've got an Android device, Samsung S10e. I don't know. My suggestion would be that you contact both of those companies, IK Multimedia and Evermix, and ask them about your phone in particular, because Android is a bit more fussy. Some phones are great for audio now. It didn't used to be the case. There weren't many at all, but now some seem really good. I've heard from the iRig people that actually most Samsung phones are fine with the iRig Stream, but before you invest money, it's worth double checking. Absolutely, I would recommend it. DJ Johnny 7, I tried Ecamm, but audio wasn't good. Ecamm is used by Phil at Digital DJ Tips, and his stuff sounds and looks really, really good. So I don't know. I haven't tried Ecamm yet. Haven't had time for that, but I will look at some point. Ecamm back to back. Oh, sketchy for the remote DJ. Okay, I mean, it's another one I'll look at. Tom Byrne, I asked about USB hub recommendations. Any ideas? Well, the question is, have you got a laptop with old USB ports like regular USB 3 or 2, or have you got fancy USB-Cs? To be honest, the USB-C or Thunderbolt 3 USB situation is actually a lot better nowadays. I'm running, you can't see it, but I've got a small USB-C one, which is from like Koei-Tech or something. It's just off Amazon. It's a cheap one that's got an Ethernet in one end, so I'm running wired into my router, and then it's got 3 USB ports on it as well, regular USBs, and that's like super cheap, and it just works. So you know, beyond that, if you're running anything heavy off it, get a powered one if you can, one that has its own power supply. Certainly with older USB 2 and 3 devices, my old hubs, I would always run powered with a separate power supply, because yeah, it takes a lot of juice. I remember a couple of times when I was first trying out Rekordbox, well, not Rekordbox, it was CDJs in HID mode years ago now. This is like the original 2000s with Serato, and unless I had a powered USB hub, they went completely haywire. Like if I just plugged them into a regular USB hub without power, they just freaked out entirely. So anything kind of mission critical, I'd always recommend a powered hub with older USB ports. USB-C, Thunderbolt 3 doesn't seem to be so much of an issue, but don't take that as a guarantee. Let's have a look. DJ McCarthy, is it worth the upgrade iRig Duo versus iRig Stream? Basically, these times, right, when most DJs are not earning any money, make it work. Hashtag make it work. That's been my motto for the past few weeks. Just whatever you've got, make it work. If you have something that works, use that. Like don't run out and buy a new interface just because you think it might be a bit better. If it works, it works. You know, because you've got to think no one's making money out of this streaming. Some people are making a few bucks off, you know, like subs and things like that on Twitch, or maybe donations. Like, and some DJs I know are getting paid to do streaming gigs. Like, that's a thing that's happening. That's an ecosystem that's developing. But in general, in these times, whatever you've got, make it work. Like, if it works already, if it's good enough, that's fine. Live streaming doesn't have to be perfection. It doesn't have to be incredible. It just has to sound great, look okay, and be solid and reliable. That's all that matters. So yeah, I'm definitely not gonna tell you to go out and buy a new interface if you have one that works already. If you can only get an older one, get that. You know, that's fine. You know, not a problem. Lighting you can make is the first upgrade you make from Grant here. If you want better video quality, I mean that's fully the case, and that's always my recommendation for anyone who's hitting me up privately about streaming stuff, is that just turn the lights on. You know, don't try and be like making a moody disco vibe like in the club. Just turn the lights on, because all of these cameras, webcams, phones, everything, they've all got very small sensors, so they don't look great in low light. So just turn the lights on. You'll get better image quality with less noise in the image if you just turn the lights on and have it bright. If you've got daylight, open the blinds. If you've got, you know, just large room lights, turn them on, because actually, you know, the darker it is, the less likely you are to get a good quality image out of it. That's it. End of, really. Let's have a look. Is there a Thunderbolt cable to connect Pioneer S9 to a Mac? I mean, yeah, I use the two types of cable that I rely on the most, because I find them really durable and long lasting. Is the DJ Tech Tools Chroma cables and the Oyade Neo cables, the green and white ones. I use those. Both of them have a USB-B to go into the back of your S9 that goes to a USB-C at the other end, and they work completely reliably. I'd much rather use a cable for that rather than using a normal cable and an adapter on the end. I don't like having extra little adapters on stuff. I'd rather just have a straight up cable. So yeah, you know, USB-B to USB-C, that's going to work just fine with any modern laptop, not a problem. Let's have a look. Any USB controller compatible with Rekordbox, or only no, it's Rekordbox. You can map some stuff in there, but like Serato, like Tractor before it, what you can't ever map is jog wheels. They are generally proprietary, so you can't map those. If you want to use Rekordbox, you're basically using, you know, Pioneer DJ stuff. It's their product. It's designed for their products. Yeah, it's Pioneer or nothing, basically. Let's have a look. The Behringer UCA 222 is like $30 and does the job. Absolutely. Like, I totally agree. I've got a Behringer UCA 202. I showed it on the Q&A last time. Very, very affordable interface. Works with phones and with computers. It just goes straight into your computer for OBS and works perfectly, and will work with a phone if you have the right kind of adapter to get to like USB-C or to Lightning. Work perfectly every time. DJ Charge, is it worth the jump to make the jump from Serato DVS to Pioneer? I would say experiment with it. You can get, you know, free trials and stuff. Just all of these things, especially if you have some extra time on your hands. I know a lot of DJs right now have no extra time because they're homeschooling kids and all this kind of stuff. But if you have a bit of free time, now's the time to experiment. You know, try out something different. Try out a different platform, you know, a different bit of software that you've not used before. You know, the grass is not always greener, but sometimes it is. So it's definitely worth trying out some new bits. Shout out to Kareem from djbooth.net in the stream there. Big up my man. His channel is well worth a watch if you're looking for alternative reviews and stuff. Really recommended. Let's see. Complete Audio 6 works with OBS. That's really good to know. Let's see. Okay, I think we're going to call it a day there because it's 11 o'clock. And well, here in the UK anyway. We've been going for an hour, and that's me yammering on for an hour is probably going to be enough. We will do this again very soon. Thank you all for locking in. Thank you all for your comments. Really appreciated. I will go through them afterwards. I think I can save them here in Restream. I hope so. So I'll go back in and check them out. Definitely on my agenda is to find out about the back-to-back thing. That's something that I'm going to work on. That's one of my big projects for the coming week. Then I'll see what's the best solution, and hopefully I'll be able to deliver that to you. As I said, I'll have a first look on the A10 Mini Pro. That's coming soon. And yeah, basically just going to keep on churning out content, keep talking about streaming stuff, keep watching the streams. You know, if I see people's streams out there, I'm just tuning into all of them so I can see what's going on. And I recommend you do the same. Firstly, because it supports your DJ brothers and sisters, because everyone's in the same situation. So, you know, it always helps. The more people that lock in the algorithms, it helps with that. So just jump on and, you know, give it a watch. Even if it's just for like 2 or 3 minutes, it really does help. Go follow your favorite DJs on Twitch if they're going over there. Everybody's starting from fresh. And I'm going to plug it again because this is what you have to do if you want to go be on Twitch. Mojaxx DJ is my channel on Twitch, right? That's what you've got to do. If you want to grow on Twitch, you've just got to push it at every opportunity. So I'm going to do that too. Yeah, because I'm loving Twitch. I really like the community feel of it. I love what I'm doing. The other night I played Tony Hawk and tried to DJ with 45s at the same time on Twitch. It didn't go well, but it was fun. So that's, you know, these are the times to experiment. You're stuck at home. You can't go out and DJ your regular spots. You've got to do something new, you know, do something new. Just push yourself, challenge yourself, try new things. And yeah, hopefully you can still have fun with DJing in these times. So yeah, make sure you're out there, you're staying safe and well. Look out for yourselves, look out for your families. And yeah, I'll see you soon.